Alright, so quickly before this video starts, I want to point something out. So, you will soon notice that I am using the updated rosters. I just found some random file on the community files and I went from there. But the thing with those rosters is that they don't have the draft picks accurate because you can't like manually switch over draft picks to different teams. Like, if you go to the main menu and you go to like trade players, like the trades will always go through, but you can't offer any draft picks. So as a result, I still had the Rams' first draft pick for this upcoming year. And I shouldn't have had it. I should have traded that away to the Patriots. I didn't realize this until I started to watch Jerome's Rams rebuild. He uploaded like yesterday or something like that. He ended up trading his draft pick to the Patriots because, of course, in the Brandon Cooks trade, the Patriots acquired the Rams' first-round draft pick. And like I think the Rams got a fourth-rounder or something like that in return. So I'm sorry. I forgot to do that. So it's not super realistic, but I'm sorry, not really much I can do. I just kind of messed up there. Welcome back to another rebuild I got for you guys today. Today I am bringing you guys an attempt at a realistic rebuild of the Los Angeles Rams. And you guys will notice I have updated rosters. So I just went into like the files tab, the community files tab, and just honestly the first roster there looked like it was decent. It just said like updated roster as of April 4th. So I downloaded that one, went through it all to make sure everything looked good, and what I saw looked good. I didn't look that much. I pretty much honestly just checked if Brandon Cooks was on the Rams because I think that was one of the most recent transactions that happened, and he is on the Rams in this roster. The Patriots, of course, no longer have him. So yeah, we're doing a realistic rebuild with these rosters, so this Rams squad is actually very good. It's kind of really coincidental that I decided to get updated rosters right before I do my Rams rebuild. I'm not trying to make this any easier than it has to be because, okay, in all honesty, without the updated rosters, the Rams still have a very good team. It would still be, you know, pretty easy to realistically rebuild them in that sense because they already have a very talented team, but I'm going to get into this one right now. This is the Rams roster going into next season unless they make any other free agency moves, but Brandon Cooks is their most recent acquisition, a very talented player with quick development, sick to have in a rebuild, and I think he can contribute well to their team, make Jared Goff an even better quarterback. This O-line is not fantastic, but it's good. It's good enough for like one season, but then Andrew Whitworth might retire because he's like 36. He's 35 years old, very talented left tackle. Roger Saffold is 29. He's decent for a couple of years then. John Sullivan is rather old. He's 32. We got, who's this? No, I almost said Jerron Brown. Jamon Brown, that's close. I almost said Jerron Brown. That's a wide receiver. And then Rob Havenstein. Rob Havenstein's still young. He's like 25. Yeah, so he can do pretty well. I think, if I can remember correctly from my Rams fantasy style rebuild, he went up to like an 88 by the end of it. So he's pretty good. Tyler Higbee's not bad. Robert Woods is good. Todd Gurley, of course, is Todd Gurley. And then Cooper Kupp is a rookie. The defense is pretty good on this team as well. Now they have Ndamukong Suh. Very, very good defensive tackle. I think, I'm not sure what kind of playbook this team has. It looks like a 3-4, just based on like Michael Brockers, because he's definitely a 3-4 defensive end. It says he's balanced 4-3, but I feel like he can definitely play in a 3-4 rather well. Aaron Donald can honestly play in either, so I don't know what I want to do yet with this D-line because we have Dominic Easley here. This team could be a 4-3. I think Dominic Easley, it says he's a 3-4 kind of guy, but I can see him playing in a 4-3 as well. I don't know what I want to do quite yet, but then this cornerback core is disgusting. Aqib Talib, very talented corner. Marcus Peters, very talented corner. And then Nickella Roby-Coleman, one of the best nickel corners in the NFL. And then they have John Johnson, and they have LaMarcus Joyner. They have a very, very solid secondary. Their linebackers aren't the greatest. They got rid of Alec Ogletree, but he wasn't doing all that much. They got Ramik Wilson. I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. But they have Mark Barron here, who I might shift to outside linebacker just because I feel like he'd be a good 4-3 outside linebacker. I think I'm going to run a 4-3. He has 78 zone coverage. We got Abukum here. I'm sorry, I really don't know how to pronounce that. He has horrible zone coverage, but that's okay. Maybe he can still get a lot of tackles or something. I don't know exactly what I want to do yet with this defense. I gotta figure it out, but I think I'm leaning towards a 4-3 with Michael Brockers playing defensive tackle with Ndamukong Suh and then Aaron Donald and Dominic Easley on the edge. Aaron Donald can definitely play in a 4-3. I know it says he's a 3-4 guy here, but I think a 4-3 would suit him decently well too because he's just super athletic. So I think I'm going to switch to a 4-3. Let me see what they have. I'm honestly not sure what the Rams have. I think they switched, but what did they switch into? They switched to a 3-4, but they also have a 4-4. Okay, I don't know what I want to do. I really don't know what I want to do with this team. This is what I decided to do with the team. So the only thing different on offense is that I'm going to be starting Gerald Everett instead of Tyler Higbee, just because Gerald Everett is a rookie. He has a good chance of developing into a very solid tight end. And then on the defense, I am going to rock with a 4-3 defense. This isn't probably the most realistic move since I think they just switched from a 4-3 defense, but I think this team can still run it because Aaron Donald, amazing defensive end, arguably the best defensive player in the entire NFL. And then Dominic Easley, he can definitely play as a 4-3. If I switched him over to a left end like I did, it says now he's a 4-3 guy, so I don't know what Madden is all about, but yeah, I think this team can run a 4-3 perfectly fine. They definitely have the linebacker personnel for it because they have middle linebackers who are good coverage guys with Ramik Wilson and Mark Barron. So they can move to outside linebacker and be pretty decent 4-3 outside linebackers. What I'm doing is I'm throwing Samson Ebukam. I think that's how you pronounce that, Ebukam. I think I said Ebukam a couple times. I'm pretty sure it's Ebukam. I'm throwing him the middle linebacker to give him the best chance of winning Defensive Rookie of the Year. That would be nice. You guys saw what Markel Lee did in my fantasy draft rebuild of the Broncos. He went up pretty well. He was like an 88, 86 or something like that by the end of it. I hope that happens with Ebukam. And then the rest of the defense is the same. The secondary I didn't do anything with. They're already amazing. So I'm going to make sure I change the sliders, and I'll see you at the midseason. I just want to show this quick. Since we have a crazy amount of very good cornerbacks, I threw Kayvon Webster onto the trade block. I guess we don't have a crazy amount. We have 3 very good cornerbacks. So I threw Kayvon Webster onto the trade block, and this is a first rounder next year from the Colts. That's a second from the Jets next year. I'm just going to go with the first rounder next year. Why not, right? At the midseason mark here, we are 5-2, doing fairly well. I figured this team would already be, like, you know, a playoff contender the first season because they have a super talented roster. We are on top of the division. The 49ers are struggling. I'm not sure how because obviously with the updated rosters, they do have Richard Sherman, so I figured he might help their team a little bit. And they definitely got more help, right? Jerick McKinnon is the running back. He's pretty good in simulation normally. I don't know. I feel like they would do a little better than 3-5. But the Seahawks are in second, and the Cardinals are in third. The Cardinals are such a weird team in simulation. They either do terribly or they do super averagely. I've never seen them do like amazing. They normally go like 8-8. If like, you know, that's like the best they'll do. That's like their ceiling is like 8-8, 9-7. But I feel like they always go like 2-14. 3-13. I don't know. Let's see how they do at the end of the year. But this is what the offensive experience looks like. 6.8 thousand from Brandon Cooks. It's not terrible. On the defense, anybody have a lot? Do not see anybody with that much. That's okay, though. Who do we have to bring back? LaMarcus Joyner, definitely going to re-sign him. Fantastic player. John Sullivan, probably not going to bring back. Nikel Roby-Coleman, I do want. Dominic Easley, I'll probably bring back. But LaMarcus Joyner, let me start off with him because he is definitely main priority here. He's coming back to the team. He could probably play cornerback really well, but, you know, I don't want him to. Nikel Roby-Coleman, I definitely want back as well. Like I mentioned earlier, very talented nickel corner. Kind of like he was born to be a nickel corner, if you know what I mean. Dominic Easley, I'll give him a contract. He's not asking for all that much. He's good depth, if anything. There's a chance I might want to try to, you know, trade up in the draft, so I might use him for that. Not exactly sure, but I don't think I want anybody else here. John Sullivan, yeah, I don't really want. I can probably find a better center in the draft. So we ended up getting a first-round bye. That's pretty cool to see. We went 11-4-1. 49ers turned it around and went 9-7. Seahawks went 7-9, and the Cardinals went 5-10-1. So check out the schedule here. How did we do in the preseason? We went 1-3 in the preseason. Won the opening 3 games, lost to the Cowboys and the Seahawks. We beat the Jaguars and the Cardinals and the Giants, and we tied to the Texans, lost to the Vikings and the Saints, and then won the last 5 games of the season. That was a nice end of the year. Pretty good time to get on a win streak as well, obviously leading into the playoffs here. But how did the team play? Jared Goff, 5,204 yards. 20 interceptions is a lot. That is a lot of interceptions. 43 touchdowns is quite a bit, though, but a lot of yards. Definitely need to get those interceptions down. Todd Gurley, 17 touchdowns, 1,427 yards, 3 fumbles, a fantastic season. Malcolm Brown got 13 touchdowns. Jared Goff did not get any. Receivers, Robert Woods, 103 catches, 1,179 yards, 8 touchdowns. Fantastic season from a number 2. Brandon Cooks, though, 100 catches, 1,539 yards, 9 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp gets 14 touchdowns, nearly 1,200 yards, and Gerald Everett picks up 5 touchdowns of his own. Todd Gurley got 6 as well. How did this offensive line play? Very well. Only 14 sacks let up all season. That's what I like to see. Andrew Whitworth, the long-term veteran, only letting up 8. That's a very good season from him. Samson Ebukam. Samson Ebukam. I don't know what I said there, but 128 tackles. Not that much. I don't think he's going to win Defensive Rookie of the Year with that. But Mark Barron got 100 tackles. Tackles for loss. We got 19 from Ndamukong Suh and 10 from Aaron Donald, who had 21 sacks. Casually almost beating the sack record. Michael Brockers had 12 of his own, not bad. Ndamukong Suh 6.5. Dominic Easley only had 6 down there. Interceptions, we got 5 from Mark Barron. That is a really good season. 5 from Aqib Talib, 3 from Nikhil Roby-Coleman, and Marcus Peters and John Johnson. 1 from LaMarcus Joyner and Ramik Wilson. Maybe John Johnson can win Defensive Rookie of the Year. Highly doubt it, but that'd be pretty sick. Any defensive touchdowns? We did not get any. We had a good amount of interceptions, but no touchdowns. We were first on offense. What about defense? 15th. Okay, that can definitely be improved with this draft in the offseason. Dak Prescott wins MVP. Jared Goff comes in 3rd, though. Nobody else from the Rams. NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Jared Goff comes in 3rd. Todd Gurley comes in 5th. Defensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald comes in 2nd. Brian Cushing. Is he actually on the Cowboys? I didn't know he was on the Cowboys. Maybe he's a free agent and they just signed him in this roster, but he could totally just be on the Cowboys, and I'm just not sure. Aaron Donald, though, comes in 2nd. Nobody else from our team in this. Offensive Rookie of the Year. Cooper Kupp comes in 4th. I was hoping he'd be a bit higher, but that is okay. Nobody else from the Rams. Defensive Rookie of the Year. Samson Ebukam comes in 3rd. Or John Johnson. Is he not a rookie? I thought he was a rookie. He might still be a rookie and just not have been in that running. I'm sure he's a rookie. Maybe I am just that stupid. But Jared Goff has 30,000 experience. Brandon Cooks has almost exactly 50,000. Cooper Kupp has 46,000. That's what I like to see. The fullback had like 38K. Let me see something. John Johnson got 40,000 experience. Is he a rookie? He is a rookie. Why was he not on that list? He had a very good season. He did make the Pro Bowl, though. Yeah, there it is. 32,000 experience from that. Nobody else in the defense looks like they have like a crazy amount. Yeah, no one really has over 10K, honestly. Aaron Donald's the 2nd closest, but good amount of experience going around. Can I please get my words out? Here's a look at the team before I send by this week. It looks very good. A lot of A's going around. Cooper Kupp went up very nicely. Went up to an 88. Brandon Cooks is a 95 with confidence. Robert Woods an 86. Jared Goff is a 91. Todd Gurley is a 99. On the defense, who went up a lot? John Johnson went up to a 92. That's cool to see. I don't think anybody else really went up all that much. So let's send by this week here, see who we have to take on. Hopefully it's no one amazing. Okay, it's the Eagles. They are very good, but let me mention the word quickly. Actually, I have to look at my phone because I forgot what the word was. So let me check this out real fast. The word is going to be Pepsi for this rebuild here. Thank you very much if you made it this far into the video. I know this is not super far in, but I still appreciate it. So comment that if you would like to. I will respond. I will love all the comments, do all that good stuff. So let's advance by the week here. Do we take down the Eagles? I don't know if we're going to be able to, and we lose. Okay, so let's see what the score was. Was it a close game? I hope it was at least a close game. 49-35, relatively close. A lot of scoring in this game, though. Carson Wentz, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. Jared Goff struggled. Rushing, Todd Gurley had a very good game. 7.7 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns. 1 touchdown, though, from Jay Ajayi, and 3 from Corey Clement. Okay. Nelson Aguilar had a decent game, so did Alshon Jeffrey. Mike Wallace had a touchdown. Todd Gurley did, as did Brandon Cooks, and Zach Ertz, and Wendell Smallwood. Okay. So, we lost to the Eagles. That's alright. At least we made it to the playoffs. I am now in free agency here. I doubt anybody, interesting is going to be here. Cameron Brate is the best player. Does not look like I'm going to go after anybody. Cameron Brate would be pretty cool, but I don't have all that much money to spend, so I don't really want to go after one of the top free agents. So maybe I'll go after some random players just to play some positions. Like maybe I'll look for a left tackle in case Andrew Whitworth retires. He is still here, so that is a good sign. If I can't draft one, I'll probably just have to sign one in free agency, but I think I'm going to have him for at least one more season. So if I can't get one, in this draft or in this offseason, then I don't have to worry that much because I think I'll have time to get one, in the future off seasons. So I'm trading up in this draft, right? So I tried to make this a bit more realistic because, just letting you guys know, I could have gotten this trade done if I just gave them Ebukam and a first rounder. I definitely would have been able to get it done, but I added a first next year too to make it a tad bit more realistic, even though in the actual NFL you would still have to give a lot more for the 2nd overall pick. I didn't want to trade up with the Buccaneers. I thought the Buccaneers were going to take this player, but I didn't want to trade up with them because I would have had to give them a lot to make it even somewhat realistic to trade the 1st overall pick away, and I didn't want to try to bother with that. So with this pick, I'm going with Gilbert Williams. Okay, so my plan here, well, first off, this guy's going to be an absolute animal. He's going to be like an 82 overall. And he already has superstar development. I know that. My plan with this guy is to move him down to defensive end. I was going to trade to the Dolphins Dominic Easley, but they wanted Ebukam, so I figured why not. Gilbert Williams, though. Fantastic player. He's going to be my new defensive end. I hope he's one of those players that goes up to like an 87 at defensive end. It's kind of what I'm hoping for, but let's go with him here. 79 overall, superstar development. I thought he was going to be a higher overall. His tackling is not great. I think that's what's weighing him down. And I know he doesn't have fantastic strength, but he is still going to be my defensive end because I think he can be at least like an 83 down there. He looks phenomenal though. This pick here is going to Zach Rasmussen. Cool last name. This guy is going to be a very talented center, I think. He's a very good combine grade. Pretty good top 3 skills as well, and he's only 21 years old, so he's going to come in and take over John Sullivan's spot very well. 76 overall, normal development. I think his overall might be a bit higher if I put him in the correct scheme, but a very good player there nonetheless. I'm going to trade away the 3rd round draft pick because all of my players now are in like the 6th or the 7th round, so I want to get some stuff for next year. That's a 2nd rounder next year. I could use some of this stuff for this year still, but I don't really have that much value in the later rounds, so I want to take something for next year. So the Raiders, the Cowboys, the Colts. I think the Colts are going to do the worst out of those 3 teams. I'm going to trade away this pick as well. This is my 4th round draft pick. With my 5th pick, I'm going to take a player. With my 6th pick, I'm going to take a player. And probably with my 7th round draft pick as well. So I'll probably take a 3rd rounder in this one. The Bengals look interesting, but that's actually a lot better with the Saints. That's 2 draft picks. I might as well just take that. Unless like the Browns are offering it. No, okay, the Browns are offering this year stuff. So I'm going to take this with the Saints, and then I'm going to come around here and take a player who I think is going to be very good. This is looking like one of those outside linebackers who randomly has like quick or superstar late in drafts. He just looks that talented. So let's go with him with this draft pick. Rashad Nesbitt. Very athletic looking player. He's fast, he's agile, has good acceleration, good frame as well, 23 years old. And he kind of fits the scheme being a balanced outside linebacker. 79 overall, superstar development. He's going to come in and start nicely. With this pick, I'm going with Graham Sermon. I hope he's a decent middle linebacker. He has okay top 3 skills and has a pretty decent combine. Not the fastest player, but he's strong. Looks like he can tackle decently well and has good hit power. I'm hoping he's at least like a 74. That's kind of what I'm hoping for here. 72 overall. Okay, not bad. He might not fit the scheme. Maybe he is a higher overall. I think I am still going to start him because I don't have a middle linebacker anymore because Ebukam is no longer on the team. But yeah, he's going to be my starting middle linebacker. So all my players got picked who I had on my draft board. I'm just going to go with this random wide receiver, 6'5". Looks like he has a good combine. He's fast. He's really agile. Let's go with him. Why not? 64 overall. Normal development, but I feel like this guy has really good agility. He's 93 acceleration, 89 agility. That's not bad at all. This is going to be the team going into the 2nd season. I think it looks very good. I say that all the time, but I genuinely think it pretty much every time I say it. I don't think I've ever said it on a bad team because I think this team can make the playoffs again. But Zach Rasmussen, our starting rookie center, is like the only difference on offense here. I guess aside from Brian Hill, who is our backup running back. I think he can play pretty well as a backup if Malcolm Brown can get 13 touchdowns. I believe he was our running back last season. The wide receiver core is unchanged. Cooper Kupp is still going to be in the slot because he played very well there, and Robert Woods definitely thrived at number 2 because he had over 1,000 yards. He had a very good season. Brandon Cooks, of course, is staying at the number 1. Tyler Higbee is now starting at tight end because there's not really a reason to start Gerald Everett over him anymore, considering neither of them can win Rookie of the Year, right? Obviously, because Gerald Everett was a rookie last year, and Tyler Higbee is just a higher overall, so no reason not to start him. The defense looks a bit better because we got Williams here. What's your first name? Gilbert Williams. Very good defensive end. He's stronger than I thought he was going to be. 80 strength is not bad. 88 block shed, 85 power move, 87 finesse move with 84 speed. I hope he can wreak some havoc on the edge there. Accompanying Aaron Donald. I also have Dominic Easley still here, so I think I'm actually going to throw him on the trade block, see what I can get for him. I'm sure people will, or teams will probably offer players. Aqib Talib is going down in overall, so I might look to draft a corner. I don't know, because he still plays well, like regardless of his overall. So I don't know what I want to do there. We got a linebacker duo over here, if you think about it. Rookie linebacker duo at right outside linebacker, middle linebacker. This guy, of course, has superstar development, and Sermon does not have any development trait. It's just normal. Mark Barron moved over to left outside linebacker. I also switched my playbook to the Vikings. I want to see if this does anything, because last time I did that, it seemed that both outside linebackers still played a good amount, and I hope that happens again. I hope that doesn't make like a defensive tackle not play or something. I don't know. I'm just going to kind of roll with this playbook, see what happens. I'm going to spend my little bit of coach experience, and I'll see you at the midseason. So the Cardinals are the only team offering me anything for Dominic Easley, so I'm just going to accept this here. A 2nd rounder next year and a 7th rounder next year. That's not bad. At the midseason mark here, we are 6-1, having to take on a very talented looking team in the 5-2 Saints. Aaron Donald is our top free agent. Of course, he's coming back to the team. The 49ers are 4-4, the Seahawks are 3-4, and the Cardinals are 1-6, the polar opposite of us. Jared Goff looks like he's playing well, as does Todd Gurley and Brandon Cooks. That is nice to see. This offense looks like they're clicking. On defense, we got 12K experience from this right outside linebacker. Not bad. This middle linebacker is not doing much, but that's okay. 8.6 thousand from the left end. I'm going to spend this on the right outside linebacker because this is a good amount over 10K. That's usually my threshold. He already has pretty decent play recognition. That's kind of cool. Might be able to get these. No, I'm not going to be able to get them both to an 80. Probably a 78. There we go. 83 overall. Not bad at all. I got to make sure I spend this coach experience too before I sim by. I'm just going to do that now just so I don't forget. So spend the coach experience on, I don't know, maybe the O-line upgrade? I don't really need the defensive back upgrade. I'm going to go with the O-line to try to get that center more experience. I think I could probably spend the rest on like the kicker or the punter. Maybe I'll do that. I don't know. But let me try to renegotiate, or just negotiate in general, with Aaron Donald, Todd Gurley, Brandon Cooks. Those guys are going to take a lot of money. Rob Havenstein, also I want back. Roger Saffold, maybe? How much do you want? You actually want a good amount, so I'm probably not going to bring you back. But Aaron Donald, okay, this is going to be a big contract, but you are more than worth it, my friend. There we go, coming back to the team. Todd Gurley, another player, probably wants a huge contract. He does, but he, again, is more than worth it. One of the best running backs in the NFL for sure. I think he was the highest graded running back, according to Pro Football Focus of last season. He had a crazy season last year. Brandon Cooks, very talented wide receiver, very speedy guy, of course. He's coming back to the team. Rob Havenstein, I would also like back. One of the better offensive linemen on this team. After this season, he'll probably be the best offensive lineman we have, and he's coming back to the team. So I'm going to hold off on these guys. Maybe I'll bring him back just for depth, like Ramik Wilson. You actually want a little bit more than I'm willing to spend, to be honest, considering he's just going to be a backup. So I'm not going to negotiate with those guys yet, but I'll see you at the end of the year. So yet again, we got our first round bye. 13-3 this year. Seahawks went 9-7. I didn't see the rest of the division. I went by it too quick. I'll try to recap that after I go over the schedule. But 1-3 in the preseason once again. Won the opening 3 games. Lost to the 49ers by 3 points. Won 3 in a row. Lost to the Saints on that game. That was actually a tough game. Lost by 14 points and won a bunch there. And then lost to the Cardinals. We lost to the Cardinals. They were like 2-11 at this point. That sucks. We lost to them by 4 points. And then we won the last 2 games. So it looks like the team played very well in offense, especially. The Cardinals were 5-11, so they won their last like 3 games, like maybe more than that to be honest. But they won their last few games, and the 49ers won 8-8. So check out the stats. I actually didn't see who won MVP or anything, but Jared Goff, pretty decent season. I would say this is worse than last year, though. I mean, I know he had 6 less picks, but he also had a lot less touchdowns, like 9 less touchdowns, and like 700 less yards. So I'd honestly take his season last year. Todd Gurley, though, 14 touchdowns, 1 fumble, 1,681 yards. Phenomenal season once again. Brian Hill got 12 touchdowns, 2 fumbles, and Jared Goff got 3 touchdowns of his own. Brandon Cooks, fairly identical season from last year. 99 catches, 1,400 yards, 6 touchdowns. I guess a bit worse. Robert Woods definitely did a little bit worse. 6 touchdowns, 89 catches, almost 900 yards. But Cooper Kupp gets over 1,000 yards again with 10 touchdowns. And Tyler Higbee gets 7 touchdowns of his own. Sacks, how was this? 14 sacks let up from Andrew Whitworth. That's a bit much. Rob Havenstein, though, only lets up 5. That's not bad. Jamon Brown lets up 3, and Roger Saffold lets up 1. On the defense, we got 111 tackles from this fella here. That's actually not that much. Tackles for loss, we got 20 from Ndamukong Suh, 14 from Aaron Donald, and 14 from Michael Brockers. We got 11 sacks from Aaron Donald, so the sacks were kind of low. 7.5 only from Gilbert Williams. Interceptions, 5 from Aqib Talib, 3 from Nickel Roby-Coleman and Marcus Peters, 2 from John Johnson and LaMarcus Joyner, then 1 from Graham Sermon and Rashad Nesbitt. Maybe Nesbitt won something, that would be pretty cool, but we got 1 touchdown from John Johnson. Okay. Third on offense. I feel like the defense played better this season, though. How were they? Second. Okay. Nearly first in everything. Nice to see. Tom Brady wins MVP. Jared Goff comes in second, though. Anybody else from the Rams? Todd Gurley is in there at number 10. NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Somehow Todd Gurley is above Jared Goff on this, but Jared Goff was above him on MVP. I don't know, but they both make it. That's pretty cool, I guess. Jay Ajayi is up to a 97. That's cool to see. Defensive Player of the Year. Aaron Donald comes in 6th. I'm honestly not sure how. He had a decent year, yeah, but he had a crazy season last year, and he was only number 2 last season. I don't know. But he does come in 6th there. Nobody else from our team. Offensive Rookie of the Year, anybody from the Rams? I don't see him. Defensive Rookie of the Year, Graham Sermon comes in 2nd. But Rashad Nesbitt comes in 6th, and Gilbert Williams comes in 7th. That's okay, because both of those guys already have superstar depth, so they're already very good players, but I wish that middle linebacker could have won something. On the offense, though, 27,000 experience, 29,000 experience, 44,000 for the center. That's a Pro Bowl. Yes, it is. Okay, nice to see. We got 34K from Brandon Cooks as well. The whole O-line actually has a lot. That's cool to see. On the defense, though, 15K from this defensive end is a lot, but nobody else has that much. I'm going to spend this, and I'll see who we have to take on. Here's a quick look at the team before I sim by the week here. But the center went up to a 90 overall. 88 run, 88 pass, 87 impact, all with confidence, of course, but he's very, very talented. A lot of the O-linemen actually went up pretty well. Rob Havenstein's an 88. Jamon Brown, right? They got that right? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. He's an 81 now. Roger Saffold's up with confidence. Andrew Whitworth has confidence. A lot of this team has confidence, of course, but Jared Goff is a 93 now with confidence. I think he only went up by 1 overall point. Brandon Cooks is nearly a 99 over there. This guy went up to a 90, which is cool to see. Nesbitt's an 86. It's not bad. We got a decent amount of players up pretty well. So let's see who we have to take on. I'm guessing the Eagles again. They always make it. Nope, the Vikings this time. Let's see if we can take down the Vikings. I need to remember next season if we make the playoffs to see what the overall is. I'm going to check now, just to make sure I at least have it documented what it is currently. We are 94 overall. Just wanted to let that be known. But the Saints are a 93. They're not far behind at all. Can we take down the Saints? I'm going to go straight to the Super Bowl. Let's see if we are in it. If we are, we're taking on the Chiefs. That's my guess. Nope, the Steelers, and we actually are in it. That is awesome. I'm going to go over the games quickly, just in case I can't do that after the Super Bowl. Let's see what the scores were. Hopefully we blew by them. 24-19, that was a close game. One possession game there, but looks like our defense held up pretty well. Kirk Cousins, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Jared Goff, pretty clean game there. Didn't really do all that much. Todd Gurley did very well. Brian Hill had a touchdown. Who had the touchdown for their team? Stephon Diggs did. Okay, so pretty decent looking game there. Saints, we put up more points for sure. 495 yards. Jared Goff did very well this game, 343 yards. Outplays the veteran Drew Brees, of course, one of my favorite players in the NFL, if I had to say so. Todd Gurley, 132 yards, 1 touchdown. He is a monster in simulation. Kamara got 2 touchdowns, and Brian Hill got another one. Cooper Kupp had a very good game. Brandon Cooks had a good game, playing against his old team, one of his old teams. Michael Thomas got a touchdown, as did Tyler Higbee, and was that it? That looks like it. Okay. So, let's see if we can take down the... What team are we playing again? The Steelers. I forgot already. I'm actually going to hop into this game because I usually hop into the Super Bowl games. Let's see if we can win. This is a very close game here. It is now 17-17 going into the 4th quarter. We have the ball. Not anymore. Okay, now we have the ball again. Oh, all right. 20-17. Very hard to follow like that. 24-23. We lost the game. What just happened? I thought we were winning because I saw them taking their timeouts. Did I just... Okay, I swore I saw the Steelers taking some timeouts, and then we scored a touchdown, and then they scored in like 4 plays. All right, well, whatever. We lost. That looked like a win to me. I don't know. Maybe they had the crazy long play near the end. Let me see. Ben Roethlisberger, what was your long? 29. Okay, so it wasn't a crazy pass. Anyway, Jared Goff played very badly. Ben Roethlisberger did pretty well. Rushing. Le'Veon Bell, did you have like a crazy carry near the end? Nope, your long was 6 yards. Okay. Todd Gurley ran the ball better than Le'Veon Bell did. Brian Hill got another touchdown. He is insane. Vance McDonald, okay, led the game in catches. Not in yards, though. Antonio Brown did that. Brandon Cooks got a touchdown, as did Vance McDonald, and Martavis Bryant got 2. I don't know how we lost this game. It looked like we were going to win, but maybe I could have just been looking incorrectly. I don't know. Graham Sermon, though, had 11 tackles. Ryan Shazier had 10 sacks, 1.5 from Adama Sue, 1 from Gilbert Williams, Michael Brockers, and Aaron Donald. Hold on. And Rashad Nesbitt. Let me make sure. Okay, Gilbert Williams. Making sure I said that name correctly. 1 interception from Ryan Shazier. Derek Johnson? Is he actually on the Steelers? I don't even know. Maybe they signed him. I'm honestly unsure. And Graham Sermon got 1 as well. I didn't check tackles for loss. Might as well. Cameron Hayward got 1, as did Stephon Tuitt and Aaron Donald. I'm just showing this here. I am going to negotiate with Jamon Brown because he played pretty well, and he's an 83 with confidence. So I think he's worth bringing back, if I'm being honest. I should actually probably bring back Brian Hill, too. I just saw him at the end, but he got a lot of touchdowns in the postseason. I think he got 1 each game of the postseason. So I might as well just give him a little contract here, see if he wants to accept this. He is going to accept it. Not bad there. I'm about to be in free agency. I'm hoping like Ryan Shazier is here or something, because middle linebacker is definitely our biggest issue, even though our middle linebacker played pretty well in the Super Bowl. But we have $24.18 million in cap room. Greg Olsen's the first player, and then it drops off tremendously. After Greg Olsen and Jelani Walker, TJ Yeldon is the next biggest, is the next highest overall. I mean, wow. Okay, Ali Marpet's here. That would be interesting, but I don't know if I want to spend that much on him because he's quite expensive. Actually, how much of a contract is this? Because I might actually do it. I'll do it. He's not bad. I think he's worth it. I'll give him 98 points. Again, I'm sorry if you heard that door close, but I'll give him 98 points, and I'm really considering giving a contract to one of these guys. I know they're old, but like they probably don't want a big contract, and they're not bad. A 93 overall player. I'm going to go after Delanie Walker. I'll give him this many points and see if he accepts that. That'd be pretty cool because he's not bad at all. Might as well see if I can get him on the squad, get a decent veteran in here. Who do we got? We got Delanie Walker and Ali Marpet. Okay, they both accepted. I honestly expected one of them to not accept that. Good thing I went after Ali Marpet because Andrew Whitworth retired, so Marpet can probably slide over to right tackle, and then I just need to draft a left guard. Or maybe draft a left tackle, one of those two. But Delanie Walker now makes a tight end look very good, so not bad at all. See you guys in the draft. Yes, I am trading again in the draft. I'm giving the Browns my middle linebacker I drafted last season and my 18th overall pick to trade up to their 16th overall pick. The reason why I have the 18th overall pick, by the way, is because that was the Colts draft pick. If you guys remember when I traded Kayvon Webster, I think it was, the Colts offered me a first rounder in this draft. So I think this is a decently fair trade. The reason why I don't feel bad for doing this is because the computer always says the Browns need a middle linebacker when they kind of really don't. And the middle linebacker I really want to draft right now would probably have gotten drafted by the Browns. So I'm going to take this guy because this guy looks phenomenal. One of the best middle linebacker prospects I have seen in a little while. I needed to make sure I get him. I know he's a late first rounder and we're technically in like the mid first round, but I cannot trust the computer in this game. They start taking late first round guys at like the 15th draft pick. So Marshall Farrell, phenomenal looking player. A- tackle, A- hit power, B+ pursuit. Pretty much exactly what you want from a middle linebacker, because like coverage, if he doesn't have great coverage, that can get boosted rather easily with experience. But I think, no, tackle's actually pretty easy, but hit power is super difficult to get up, and pursuit's pretty easy as well. But he's a phenomenal combine, 22 years old, great looking player. 80 overall, normal development. This guy is going to be my starting middle linebacker. That is for sure. I'm going to be trading away my first second round draft pick. I actually have two. That looks very good with the Saints. That's a second next year, a second this year, and a 7th next year. That's just a second this year. Okay, why would I take that? A 3rd this year, a 2nd, and a 7th. That actually might be more valuable than the Saints because the Saints have a very good team. That's a 3rd, a 2nd, and a 4th. Okay. I don't really want all that much stuff this year, though. That is a 2nd from the Browns. I am taking that. So I now have a tremendous amount of draft picks. I'm going to trade away this 2nd rounder for all next year's stuff. I don't want anything else from this season because I have a lot of draft picks already from this season. Really, nobody's just going to offer something for next year. Okay. That looks very good. I'm just going to take this with the 49ers because I'm just adding a 4th rounder into this for this season. And, you know, with one of the picks I have left over, I can just take some random players because I think I'm done trading. I probably have a lot of draft picks for next year. So let's start taking some players here. I think that I'm in a good position too. Philip Lang, very talented right tackle. Obviously, I don't have him scouted. I don't know actually how talented he is, but I'm just looking at his combine report. Very strong. That's pretty much all I was looking at there. 78 overall was superstar. Didn't expect this guy to have superstar development, but he's very good. So I think that pretty much solidifies my offensive line. I don't really need to draft many of these other O-linemen here, but I probably will still take him just for depth. But Akeem Black, the next player on my draft board, I'm going to take him. He probably won't start, but he looked decent, so I figured I would go with him. 91 strength, 88 tackling, 79 speed. That guy's not bad at all. I am now in the 4th round. I'm going to be drafting Trenton Gilliam. Gary Gilliam's brother, cousin, I don't know. Looks pretty good. You know, one of these guys. It's probably great. There we go. 77 overall. Quick development. It is super easy to draft offensive linemen if you guys have not figured that one out yet. I'm just going to talk through all these draft picks because they're all going to be kind of the same. These guys are all going to be pretty good. I'm actually not going to talk through these two. So look, I'm just going to take both these guys. They're probably going to be great. I'll talk through them. Why not? I'm very indecisive. But 75 overall, quick development. I'm thinking it's going to save me time to cut this away, but it really won't save much time because this isn't that long of a portion. I mean, I was thinking it would save me time if I just talked over it, but it's not a big deal. Whatever, it's done now. 76 overall normal. What am I even saying anymore? This next pick, though, I think might be one of the best players in this draft, if I'm being completely honest. He looks very good, but sometimes looks are deceiving. Kilian Keel. Very, very good combine. He is the most agile and probably has the best acceleration out of any wide receiver in this draft class. Super fast, probably has like 93, 94 plus speed with very good top 3 skills. So let's go with him here. 84 overall. I've never seen that. I don't know where I want to play this guy. I really want this guy to play. I might have him play in the slot and have Cooper Kupp play number 2. I don't think that's a dumb idea because Cooper Kupp has been doing super well in the slot. I feel like this guy can do just as well. And I think Cooper Kupp can do fine at the number 2. That was so surprising. I did not expect that guy to be an 84 overall. So this guy probably pales in comparison to that guy, but Derek Barner looks pretty good. He's quick as well. 4.42 speed is not bad at all. With decent top 3 skills, he's probably like a 73. 72. Okay. 92 speed though, not bad at all. 88 catching. He'd be pretty cool to use in like a not a simulation league. What am I saying? In a league where you actually play the games, because he has like good stats for, you know, just playing through the games. 92 speed, like I mentioned, 88 catching, 90 acceleration, 80 route running is not bad, 92 jumping. He's actually pretty good. He'd be a fun player to, like, you know, to build a project around really. But I think I have a couple more draft picks here. I don't want to trade them away, so let's just take some random players. Let's see. I have 3 more draft picks. I'm gonna go with this guy who's probably horrible. 65 overall. I called it. Usually the first couple players on the draft board, even if they have a good combine, they are terrible. never go with them if you're actually trying to draft players who look good because, like, for example, this guy, I scouted him just because he had a good combine, but this guy would have been horrible if I just blindly took him. All these guys would have been blindly terrible, or would have been horrible blind draft picks because they're just on, like, the top page here. Never take those guys. They're never going to be good unless it's in the first round. I guess I should say that. If it's in the first round, then go ahead. But I'm going to take this guy here, 71 overall. Not bad at all, actually. 91 speed, 86 hit power. He's going to be a pretty good backup, even though it doesn't matter all that much. But he'd be a good guy to have on, like, special teams or something because he can lay the boom on kick returns and stuff like that. The last pick here, who should I go with? Should I go with the fullback? I'm going to have a backup fullback on this squad. 73 overall. There we go. There's probably a crazy fullback there. I haven't needed to get one this entire time because my fullback is like an 87. He kind of went up to that after the first year, but that was a pretty successful draft if I'd say so. Here's the team for Season 3. I will probably do another season, all depending on my cap situation because, you know, I usually cheese the contracts by, like, boosting up the years and taking down the salary a little bit. But I'm paying them more over time. It just makes them more likely to renegotiate with me or just negotiate in general. I always say renegotiate even though they're just, whatever, doesn't matter. But I usually cheese it that way, but it really just hurts me in the long run if I decide to do more seasons because I'm just spending more money over time. But I'll probably still go another one if my cap situation permits me to do so. This is what the offense looks like. I decided to start Gilliam at right guard because he has quick development, very good stats. I figured why not. And then Lang with superstar development is taking over Rob Havenstein's spot. But Rob moved over to left tackle. I'm not going to say his last name again because I stuttered on it last time. But we got Keel here. What's your first name? Kilian Keel. Very good looking wide receiver, 84 overall, out of Iowa. He's going to be my slot corner. Cooper Kupp is moving to the number 2. I think he can do very well here. I think he's a very solid number 2 receiver, and Brandon Cooks is still the number 1. Poor Robert Woods moved down to the number 4. He is still a very talented receiver, but just no room to start really with the personnel I have. Of course, we have Farrell starting at middle linebacker. Phenomenal player. Did you have a development trait? You did not, but you are still a sick player. And then Aqib Talib going down to a 90 overall. He's still not bad. Definitely can still stay on the squad, but he definitely regressed a lot. But this defense looks phenomenal. I think this team can make it into the playoffs once again. I hope they can at least, but I will see you at the midseason. At the midseason mark, we are 5-2, doing very well once again. The Seahawks are 4-3 though. They are tied with the 49ers to be in second, and the Cardinals are 3-5, who we just lost to. That sucks. Here's the defense. I don't know why it started here. I think it's just because this is where I was when I simmed it to begin with, but that's what the defensive experience looks like. On the offense, Todd Gurley has a lot. Nice to see this wide receiver has 6K. Not bad. Marcus Peters is here to bring back. Definitely want to negotiate with these guys to make sure that I can do another season. How much money do we have to begin with? Okay, 51.8 mil. So if I bring these guys all back here, I think I can at least do another season. But we're bringing back Marcus Peters and Ndamukong Suh. I'll probably bring back, even though he has a huge contract. He's very good, though. I know he's 32 years old, but he is super talented. Aqib Talib, I don't know. Jared Goff. I want Jared Goff back. Okay, we're going to run out of money, actually, the more I think about this. I might not be able to bring back Aqib Talib, but I think that'll be okay. Michael Brockers, again, I want him back. I'm not going to negotiate with Aqib Talib. I think that's just how it's going to go. Maybe I can bring him back in free agency next period or something. Next year. Greg Zuerlein, though, I will negotiate with as well. Very good kicker. Why not, right? Bring this dude like that. Is he going to accept that? No. Okay, he's not. I'll make sure I get him back. I'll franchise tag him or something, or just sign another kicker, to be honest. Doesn't really matter that much, but I'll see you at the end of the year. Here we are making the playoffs again, and Todd Gurley wins MVP. We won 11-5, as did the Seahawks. Got another first-round bye, though. That's always cool. 3-1 in the preseason. We got shut out by the 49ers. Won our opening 3 games, lost to the Falcons, 1-2 against the Ravens and the Vikings, lost to the Cardinals and the Seahawks, beat the Eagles, lost to the Saints, and then won 5 in a row, and then lost to the 49ers. Okay, well, that's a bit rough. We lost to the Cardinals and the 49ers a couple times, the 2 worst teams in the division, even though the 49ers are pretty good. Jared Goff, though, pretty decent season. Honestly, not that great. Okay amount of yards, okay amount of touchdowns, but 16 picks is a lot for that yardage and for that touchdown amount. But Todd Gurley, 19 touchdowns, 1,679 yards, 1 fumble. Definitely deserves MVP. Brian Hill gets 10 touchdowns with 2 fumbles. Jared Goff fumbles 3 times. Cooper Kupp gets over 1,000 yards, and that is the only receiver to do so. That's actually very surprising, but Kilian Keel gets 7, nearly gets 1,000 yards. Delaney Walker gets 5 touchdowns. Todd Gurley adds 5 to his total, so it makes him have 24. Sacks, 10 only led up by, that was a weird way of saying that, only 10 led up by Rob Havenstein. 2 from Philip Lang, yep, Lang, okay, and 1 from Brock Raymer. I think he's a backup. On the defense, we got 140 tackles for Marshall Farrell, not bad. 107 from Rashad Nesbitt. We got 14 tackles for loss from Ndamukong Suh, 10 from Michael Brockers. We got 20 sacks from Aaron Donald, 10.5 from Gilbert Williams,
Interceptions, we got 2 from Lamarcus Joyner, Rashad Nesbitt, Aqib Talib, 1 from John Johnson, Marshall Farrell, Marcus Peters, and Treston Decoud? I don't know. But he got 1. I'm not trying to pronounce that, to be honest. Touchdowns, we got 1 from Lamarcus Joyner. So 6th on offense. Our offense kind of keeps progressively getting worse. Defense getting better, though? Nope. Okay, that got a bit worse from last season, but 5th is still not bad. Okay, definitely said that Todd Gurley probably won a Offensive Player of the Year. That's probably what I saw. But Leonard Fournette wins MVP. I think it probably said NFC MVP. I think I just saw the MVP part. So, yeah, he's in the normal MVP running at number 4, but NFC Offensive Player of the Year does go to Todd Gurley. That makes a lot more sense now. I just read that incorrectly before. Nick Foles on the Giants. Oh, no. Aaron Donald comes in 2nd for Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie of the Year, Kilian Keel comes in 2nd. I should have put him as my kick returner. I don't know if I did. I hope the computer did. I doubt it, though, with Tavon Austin and Brandon Cooks on this team. Defensive Rookie of the Year does go to Marshall Farrell, though. It's not bad to see. Nobody else from our team. So I'm going one more season, so I'm not going to go over the rest of those stats. Let me see how much experience we have, though. We only have 10K from this wide receiver. I think that's okay, though, to be honest. 24K from Jared Goff somehow. Do you have any development trait? Oh, you have quick. Okay, that's pretty cool. Todd Gurley has 32,000. PJ Lang. Nope, not PJ Lang. Wait, was that your name? Philip, I feel. Yeah, it's Philip Lang. Has 16K, not bad at all. On the defense, how much does the middle linebacker have? 29,000, that's not bad. That's a good amount, so I'll spend this quick and see who we have to take on. Here is the upgraded team. Looks very good, but Keel only went up to an 85. I was really hoping he'd go up a lot more, but he's still a very sick player. I don't know if I'm going to start him next season. I might have the old scheme, what I did before. I'm actually going to have that for the playoffs because there's no reason to now. I just wanted Keel to try to win Offensive Rookie of the Year, but Robert Woods is back at the number 2 and Cooper Kupp is back in the slot, which I think he is way better at than Keel was. But the rest of the offense looks very good. This guy went up to an 87, Philip Lang over here. Nobody else got upgraded that much, but on the defense, middle linebacker is up to an 89. Nice to see. Pretty much everywhere around is an A. Aside from Mark Barron, and technically the middle linebacker just because they average out these 2 overalls here. But let's see who we have to take on in the divisional round. It's going to be the... I couldn't think of the team fast enough. It's the Eagles. Okay. Are we going to take over against the Eagles? We do. Okay, so now we have to play against the Seahawks. Let's see if we're going to a back-to-back Super Bowls. That would be nice. I would love to win it if we make it. We did make it against the Titans. So let me check out the scores of those last 2 games. How did we do? 34-16 against the Eagles, kind of handled them very well. Looks like Jared Goff did decently. Carson Wentz struggled like crazy. Todd Gurley had 2 touchdowns. Brian Hill had another one. He just gets so many touchdowns. Cooper Kupp got 1, as did Alshon Jeffrey. Okay, so this game against the Seahawks was a bit closer, 45-35. Still a pretty convincing game, though. 2 possessions, if you think about it. I don't know why I said if you think about it. It's not really another way of thinking about that, but Jared Goff almost gets 400 yards. Kind of almost. 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Russell Wilson played pretty well, though. Played pretty clean. Todd Gurley gets another touchdown, nearly 100 yards. Tariq Cohen gets 2 touchdowns. Brian Hill gets 2 touchdowns. He is just a touchdown machine in free agency. In the postseason. Chris Carson gets a touchdown, though. Robert Woods gets 2. Okay. And then we got 1 from Tariq Cohen, Cameron Brate, and Cooper Kupp. Tariq Cohen had a very good game. He had 3 touchdowns. So let's see if we can take down the Titans. I'm surprised it's the Titans, to be honest. Usually don't see them do that well in Sim. I mean, they only went 9-7, but they made the Super Bowl. We are a 96 overall. They are a 91 overall. Let's see how this game unfolds. This game is also very close. 28-24, 31-28 now. Can we finally get a Super Bowl victory again? 35-31, 38-35. Are they going to score again? They do. 38-38. Can we get a field goal at the end of the game? 45-38. Are they going to score? They are not. And we win this Super Bowl 45-38. Not bad at all. Marcus Mariota could not lead his team to a Super Bowl victory here in 2020? 2021? Not sure what year this is, to be honest. 3rd season. So I'm probably still going to go another one. I hope this team plays well for another year. Watch, this team's not going to make the playoffs now, and it's just going to, curse me for trying to go another season and make this video a bit longer. But let's see who the Super Bowl MVP was. I'm kind of curious to see if it was actually a viable MVP, or if it's one of those random glitches where it gives somebody the MVP for getting a catch in 4 yards. I don't know. See what happened. Come on, show me the MVP. It is Todd Gurley. That's very feasible. Okay, that is MVP status to me. 119 yards, 3 touchdowns. I'm just going to skip by the ceremony. You guys all know how it goes. I just wanted to see the MVP, but the quarterbacks played pretty well. We got 727 combined yards with 6 touchdowns and 3 picks. Jared Goff threw 2 of them. Marcus Mariota only threw 1. He played a lot better. He probably would have been the MVP if the Titans had won. Todd Gurley, though, 3 touchdowns. Dion Lewis looks like they played pretty well. Looks like he played very well. Marcus Mariota also had a rushing touchdown, and Brian Hill got another one. Okay, Cooper Kupp got a touchdown. Colby Fleener did. Is he actually on the Titans? I don't know. I ask that every time I see a random player on a random team, but could always just totally be in free agency in this or something. But Todd Gurley gets a receiving touchdown, as does Dion Lewis, Corey Davis, and Lynn Cooley. Looks like their backup running back or something. Where is Derrick Henry? Is he not on this team anymore? I don't see Derrick Henry. Okay. Anyway, defensively, Wesley Woodyard, who's still on the Titans, gets 14 tackles. John Bostic gets 11 down there. Marshall Farrell gets 13 tackles for loss. 1 from Sharif Floyd, Jarrell Casey, Aaron Donald, and Daquan Jones. The Titans look like they have a pretty good D-line. Ndamukong Suh, though, gets 2.5 sacks. Gilbert Williams gets 1. Daquan Jones gets 1. And Aaron Donald gets a half. Interceptions, 1 from Mark Barron, Kevin Byard, and Eric Reed. Just imagine. I just thought of this. So, Ndamukong Suh and Aaron Donald shared a sack. Imagine getting tackled by both of those players at the same time. That is probably horrible. I am in free agency now. Do I have any money to spend? Kinda highly doubt it. $6.46 million. Okay. Can I bring in anybody? Jalen Ramsey? Nope. Yannick Ngakoue. Deion Jones would be cool. Kendall Fuller would be nice because I don't have Aqib Talib anymore. I'll probably go for him. Should I bring Sammy Watkins back? No, I really don't want him. I don't think there's anybody here that I want. Actually, what's his name? Devondre Campbell would be nice, but I don't think Mark Barron plays all that much, so I'm not that worried about that. Reggie Ragland's always here. Austin Eckler's pretty cool, but I'm just going to go after Kendall Fuller, a player I always go after because he's always here. I don't think I can bring him in. Can I bring him in? Nope. Okay, that answers that question. Let me go after another cornerback who is not getting any offers. Jimmy Smith? Did Aqib Talib retire? I'm going to go after Jimmy Smith because I think Aqib Talib may have actually retired, which is interesting. Let's give him this contract. If he doesn't accept that, I'll have to try a little harder. Maybe I'll draft a corner. I don't know. Did we franchise tag Aqib Talib? I don't think I did. Okay, yeah. He must have just retired then. That's interesting. Hey, Jimmy Smith accepted. That's nice because I couldn't find any corners I wanted to draft, so he's probably just going to play the number 2 for us. Okay, so I don't really have like any players scouted in this draft because I honestly don't care that much. The team is very good. Don't really think I need anything. I have like 1 outside linebacker scouted late, so I'm probably just going to sim until then. I'll sim until my draft pick now to see if I can get this one cornerback. Look pretty decent, but I'm sure he's going to go. I think I just saw him go, to be honest. Let's see who's here. Actually, I'll just show this because most people in the first round are all pretty good. This is the only guy I kind of want. He looks actually very good. I'm not going to take him now, though. So, I mean, let's see. This guy looks good, but I like Brian Hill as my backup. Brian Hill's very good as my backup. That guy looks so good. I kind of want to take him because I doubt there's any other first-round prospects here. Let's see. Anybody? Hello? These middle linebackers were both here. Okay, they both got drafted. They were both like projected to go in the first round. Like that's what it said from this screen. But when you actually clicked on them, it said like a 4th round projection. They both looked really good though. I'm surprised they were supposed to go in the 4th round. But nobody. Okay, I'm taking that running back. If he's not great, I'm gonna start Brian Hill. Still start Brian Hill as the backup, I guess. But Rowan Hunt, 82 overall with quick development. What kind of player? Why did nobody take this guy? Holy crap, 96 speed, 91 elusiveness, 93 agility, 85 juke move. This guy is awesome. Now, just to keep this draft concise, I'm just going to take this outside linebacker now, even though it is super early to do so. Marquise Hymes, how good are you? 75 overall, 88 speed. I took him like around right where he was supposed to get drafted. He looks very good. He's probably just going to come in and play where Mark Barron is, just because, why not? Get a rookie playing. I don't think Mark Barron plays much as it is. This guy doesn't have the greatest zone coverage at all, but actually I don't know if I want to start him over Mark Barron, to be honest, because he doesn't play much, so there's not really much of a reason to be honest. I don't know, I just wanted to take him to see what he was all about. Here's a look at the team for the final season. This is definitely going to be the final season. I think this team can make the playoffs. If it made it the past 3 years, it should totally make it again, because I think it just got better. I guess we lost Aqib Talib, but Jimmy Smith, perfectly fine replacement for him. He's a very talented cornerback. This defense looks awesome. I'm going to start this Hymes guy just over Mark Barron because why not? Mark Barron's a 77. This guy's a 75. Not that much of a difference between the overalls. I'm just going to start him to see what he can do. This D-line is still fully elite, and this offense is still very, very good. So I'm just going to actually spend my experience first. I have a lot of coach experience, and then I will sim to the end of the year, and I'll see you hopefully with a first-round bye. So we got another first-round bye. That I think that's 4 consecutively. It's cool to see. 14-2. I thought this could have been a 16-0 season. I thought somewhere in this rebuild it could have been a 16-0 season because this team was so good from the beginning. That was just kind of because I used the most updated rosters and got a very good starting team. But like I said at the beginning, I think this team would have done super well if it was just the Rams roster from, 2017, 2018. I think that team would have done perfectly fine because that team's already super talented. They already do well in simulation like in my past rebuilds. If you go back and watch some of my more recent ones, they're typically in the playoffs and the Super Bowl almost every year. But we won the opening 3 games there, then we won 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 games in a row. Lost to the Cowboys by, 5. My brain just blew up for a second. I almost said 4. Lost by 5, and then lost by 7. Totally could have been a 16-0 season. I'm sorry, my roommate's playing that drum pad thing again. I think I mentioned that every time he does, but just figured I'd let you guys know. Jared Goff, not a great season once again, man. I don't know what's up with him. He's a very good overall, has a very good group of players around him, but he can't seem to play that well. He can't seem to replicate what he did the first season. Todd Gurley, though, nearly 20 touchdowns, 0 fumbles, 1,452 yards. Rowan Hunt, 12 touchdowns, 1 fumble. My ankle cracked. I don't know if you heard that. That was pretty loud. But receivers, Brandon Cooks is our only player to get over 1,000 yards, but he gets 1,447 with 10 touchdowns. Robert Woods gets 90 catches, 873 yards, 5 touchdowns. Cooper Kupp almost gets 900 yards with 6 touchdowns. And Delaney Walker gets 4 touchdowns. Sacks, 9 led up from Rob Havenstein, 5 from Philip Lang, and 4 from Ali Marpet. Very good from the O-line there. Marshall Farrell gets 125 tackles for loss. We got 18 from Aaron Donald, who had 18.5 sacks, 13.5 from Gilbert Williams. Interceptions, we got 4 from Nikel Roby-Coleman Jimmy Smith, 3 from Marcus Peters, 2 from Gilbert Williams and Marshall Farrell and Lamarcus Joyner, 1 from Rashad Nesbitt, Nate Hairston, and John Johnston. Okay, I think I said Johnston there by accident. It's definitely, there's no T in there. Safeties, I don't know why I checked that. Meant to go to touchdowns. We have at least 1. And we got 1 from Jimmy Smith. Not bad. We were 6th on offense. Let's check out the defense. Was this any better? First, okay, yes, it was a good amount better. Phillip Rivers on the Saints wins MVP. Todd Gurley's in there at number 7. Alex Smith is on the Broncos. Okay, NFC Offensive Player of the Year. Todd Gurley comes in 5th on that list. Defensive Player of the Year does go to Aaron Donald. He finally wins it. Marshall Farrell comes in 4th. Then we got Rashad Nesbitt. Almost said Nashawn Resbitt. It's a bit of a spoonerism there. If you guys don't know what that means, it's just when you flip the first letter of 2 words. The example is actually, it doesn't have to do with just 2 words, but like the examples they have on Wikipedia are actually pretty funny. It's actually quite comical if you go to read some of them. But anyway, Gilbert Williams comes in 8th. That was a weird tangent to go on, but Offensive Rookie of the Year, Rowan Hunt comes in 2nd. Nobody else from our team. Defensive Rookie of the Year, we got Marquise Himes, who is our outside linebacker, and then Adric Goings, not sure who that is. Jared Goff comes in 6th for Best Quarterback. Best Running Back, well, hold on, was that guy an 86? Yeah, I was an 86. Could be a potential rookie from this past year, just a god, I don't know. Todd Gurley wins Best Running Back, though, over Ezekiel Elliott and Jordan Howard. Those are pretty hard guys to beat in this kind of voting and stuff and with the simulation. But Dez Bryant wins Best Wide Receiver. That is strange. Brandon Cooks comes in 3rd. Nobody else from the Rams. Best O-lineman, Ryan Ramczyk, who's a 99. He's such a good player. I should trade for him sometime soon. But Zach Rasmussen comes in 5th for Best O-lineman. And Rob Havenstein comes in 10th. I don't think I missed anybody there. But Aaron Donald comes in 1st for Best D-lineman. Gilbert Williams comes in 4th. Best linebacker, anybody from the Rams? No. Best defensive back, we got Nikel Roby-Coleman. And best kicker, Jake Elliott, still in the Eagles. That's what I like to see. But Giorgio Tavecchio. Okay, I forgot to bring back Greg Zuerlein. Oh, man, I forgot about that. But he comes in 6th. What team is Greg Zuerlein on? He's on the Panthers. Man, I forgot to renegotiate with him. Honestly, just completely forgot. Let me briefly go over the experience. Anybody with a lot. Jared Goff just continually gets a lot, but this O-line has so much. That's going to be cool to see. This might be another Super Bowl victory. I kind of hope so. The defense has significantly less than the offense, but I'll spend this quick, and I'll see you with whoever we have to take on. So I already upgraded the team here, and Sim by the week, but this is what the team looks like. This guy's a 97. I didn't even notice that. Okay, he was our fullback from the first season. He got like 30,000 experience from the first year because, if you guys don't know, I put fullbacks, kickers, and punters all on 300% experience because why not? They really don't make a difference in rebuilds. And it's kind of just cool to see them go up really high. But this is what the offense looks like. Everywhere is at least an A-. It's cool. And then on the defense, pretty much everywhere is an A. Aside from this guy, this is like truly the only guy that's not an A. Yeah, superstar development. I didn't actually upgrade this guy. I let the computer do it, but maybe they bought superstar dev for that guy. I don't think he had it. Could be wrong. But this guy, this is an A position if you just kind of think about it, because it just averages out between these two guys, but this is the only guy that plays. Doesn't matter really. We have to take on the Seahawks, though. Let's sim by. Before I do that, I remembered, let me go in and check out the team overall. 96 overall. The Seahawks are a 97. I've never gone over a 97, I don't think. Or I've never gone over a 96 in rebuilds. I honestly don't think so. Wow, okay. I don't know what the Seahawks did, but they're a 97 overall. Can we take them down? We cannot. Okay, let's check out the score. Wow. I don't think I've ever gone over a 96 in a rebuild, when in like a fantasy style rebuild, when I can trade for whoever I want. But they did so. Okay, we had more yards of offense, but Russell Wilson had a very good game, actually. Jared Goff, decent game. Drake Cohen does not pick up a touchdown. Todd Gurley does, and so does Russell Wilson. Brian Hill would have got a touchdown if he played. Delaney Walker gets a touchdown. Tyler Lockett gets 2. All right, well, that's going to conclude this rebuild. It was super successful. This team is already very good. I didn't have to do all that much to it, but it's fun drafting rookies, seeing how they play. I wish I could have gotten a middle linebacker earlier, but this guy was very good. There's just no good middle linebackers. No linebackers that I was able to draft unless I traded up, and there's no chance. I'm also talking about middle linebackers, by the way, because obviously this guy was a linebacker, but there was no chance I was passing up on this guy. One of the best prospects I've seen, one of the best outside linebacker prospects I've seen, and I knew he was going to transition to defensive end very well. But thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon. Bye.